Hello, graduates from the class of 2020 from Wise College House. This is your old Don speaking, Frony Crawford, and I just wanted to wish you all the very best in your future endeavors and congratulations on graduating.
Hi, FNM class of 2020. It's Donnell Bailey from class of 2017. I wanted to congratulate you all on all of your hard work and graduating under the most challenging circumstances that any class has had to face. I hope you feel proud of all of your accomplishments, and I wish you the best on all of your future endeavors. I raise my glass to you. Congratulations.
My name is Chelsea Brown, former Dean of Wise College House. I want to congratulate you and wish you the best and brightest in all your future endeavors.
I wish you courage and boldness in these challenging times, and I wish you love and joy and beauty in all times.
Congratulations on graduating. I'm so sorry you all weren't able to come back for a proper send-off. You really made Brooks House and FNM really proud, and I can't wait to see you all again. Good luck in your careers, and take care.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to the Franklin and Marshall College commencement for the class of 2020. At last! I'm Sue Washburn, immediate past chair of FNM's Board of Trustees and a proud member of the first class of women admitted to Franklin and Marshall. It is my honor to welcome all of the parents, family members, friends, and alumni who are joining from around the world to celebrate the class of 2020, the great, bold, tenacious, undaunted, and change-making class of 2020. Also joining to cheer you on are my fellow trustees and our dedicated faculty and professional staff who have served as your teachers, coaches, mentors, and advocates. All of us are so proud to finally honor you today. And now, it is my privilege to proclaim the official beginning of the 2020 commencement ceremony and to introduce current board chair, Eric Knoll, a member of the class of 1983, and father of Allie, a member of the class of 2009.
Thank you, Sue, for that kind introduction. I'm Eric Knoll, the current chairman of the board of Franklin and Marshall College, and I want to offer my warmest and most heartfelt congratulations upon your graduation. I wish we could all be together in person. I'm enjoying spending time at this great ceremony, but this is the second best thing, and it is the greatest event of your young lives, is to graduate from Franklin and Marshall College. And so with that, I'd like to introduce our president, the 16th president of Franklin and Marshall College, Barbara K. Altman.
Dear class of 2020, at last, a chance to address you as a group. I am truly sorry that this is not the commencement you dreamt of before we were swept up in a pandemic, or that we dreamt of for you. Please be sure that you will have the opportunity to gather on our campus again when it is safe to do so, to hug your friends, walk through these beautiful grounds, connect with your mentors, and celebrate your accomplishments in person. But it's really important to stop for a moment now to recognize what it means that you have completed your F&M degrees and you have moved beyond our Lux et Lex gates and into the wider world. When I arrived at the college, you were about to start your junior year. Who could have known what we would live through together as you navigated your junior and senior years with events that left us a changed campus and a changed world, that called upon us to step up and to speak up, and upended much of what we took for granted or thought of as normal. There is so much we could not do in the last year. We've all missed family, friends, sports competitions, labs and performances in shared space, landmark events like weddings and births and funerals. You have been touched by dire grief, including the heartbreaking losses quite recently of two beloved classmates, Ellie Holm and Vicente Rabila. It is hard to know how to mourn when you cannot be with one another and with the loved ones' families. Sorrow and success often exist simultaneously, especially as we make our way through life as adults. You've also had to find new, distant ways to celebrate the good things, including this commencement. Like you, I had looked forward to the moment when you crossed the stage, to meeting your relatives. I wanted to shake your hand, to look you in the eye and say, what you did is a grand achievement. What you have invested in your F&M education will serve you well. You can and you will make a difference. We've learned to look for those often elusive silver linings. By now, it is clear that there are some unexpected lessons from a pandemic. Something so dramatic as the events of the last year can serve to liberate us from previous expectations. Social science research shows that when you free yourself, voluntarily or involuntarily, from a given set of aspirations, you can find tremendously successful pathways where you might never have thought to look. How do you find those unexpected pathways? Very often it happens through relationships, through the connections you've made with faculty, friends, staff, coaches, and alumni. Luckily, we now know how to nourish our networks at a distance. I urge you to stay connected with the people who have been and who will remain important in your life as part of your F&M family. That F&M family stretches quite literally across the globe. As students, it's likely that you depended on alumni in some way, whether for financial aid through their gifts to the college or for career or grad school advice. Now you are the alumni. Future generations of F&M grads will turn to you for help. Make sure to keep those connections strong. You will always have this special place and your shared experience in common. In these difficult days, it has never been more clear that the world needs diplomats. It needs you. In your years at F&M, you have honed your ability to make connections across difference, to think deeply, to ask the right questions. These attributes will serve you and others very well. At this moment in our shared history, it is imperative to rebuild human connections and to bring your knowledge to bear in the pursuit of your own personal fulfillment and professional success, but also as community service. This is the moment when we need to merge civic knowledge with civic action. You are graduating at a time when you have vital work to do. Here's an important truth. For all that you've already accomplished, your real work, your life, your journey are still largely before you. The poet Wendell Berry wrote on that topic. Berry wrote, "It may be that when we no longer know what to do, we have come to our real work, and that when we no longer know which way to go, we have come to our real journey. The mind that is not baffled is not employed. the impeded stream is the one that sings. That last line again, the impeded stream is the one that sings. My charge to you, the courageous class of 2020, is to hold fast to the care, intelligence, and persistence that it took for you to succeed at Franklin and Marshall College, and to bring them with you to the world around you now. Follow your passions with determination and joy despite the obstacles. Nourish your academic heartbeat. Cultivate your intellectual curiosity. Fight anti-intellectualism wherever you encounter it, and help bring perspective to every conversation. When your path is impeded, find ways through, around, over, beyond the obstacles to move forward. You're prepared for this work. You are equipped for this journey. You can be the leaders who accelerate positive change with wisdom, strength, and compassion. In the glorious words of United States Youth Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman, if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. You will be special to me, class of 2020, and to the college forever. No other class will ever experience exactly what you have lived through. You left Franklin and Marshall a better place for your years here. I know that you will do the same in venues and communities, large and small. You will make that impeded stream sing. I am so proud of all that you have accomplished, and I am thrilled of the prospect of all that you will become. And now, I'd like to introduce Provost Cam Wesson.
Despite the gravity of the moment in which we find ourselves, we celebrate the tremendous accomplishments of the class of 2020. You've achieved many distinctions and accomplishments, and it's so unfortunate that you had a global pandemic impact the conclusion of your F&M career. However, I believe it's vital to remember that challenges help us understand ourselves and our capabilities in ways that less demanding times do not. I have no doubt the resilience you have shown will serve each of you well in all your future pursuits. As you reflect on your time at F&M and the wonderful experiences you've had here on our exquisite campus, I encourage you to think not only of those all-nighters spent cramming for exams or completing assignments, but to reflect on those times you spent doing absolutely nothing productive with your roommates, housemates, teammates, or friends. Along with the lessons taught in our classrooms, those experiences, no matter how frivolous and silly, will continue to connect you to F&M and those with whom you shared your college experience. As philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein said, if people don't do silly things, nothing intelligent would ever get done. I'd also like to take this moment to recognize the Faculty Award winners for 2020. No doubt many of you have benefited from direct experiences with these dynamic members of our community. Professor Alexis Castor, Department of Classics, received the Lindbeck Foundation Award for Distinguished Teaching. Professor Amelia Rausser, Department of Art, Art History, and Film, received the Bradley R. Dewey Award for Faculty Research. And Professor Maria Mitchell, Department of History, received the inaugural Faculty Distinguished Service Award. Additional information on each of these distinguished faculty members is available in your program. Now, I would like to introduce Vice President and Dean of Student Affairs, Margaret Haslett.
It is time now to honor a remarkable student. The Williamson Medal is the highest honor that a student can be awarded at Franklin and Marshall. The designation is based on attaining the highest standing in character, leadership, and scholarship. And the designee is chosen upon a secret ballot of the faculty and administration. Endowed by Owen Moon Jr., the Williamson Medal memorializes Henry S. Williamson, who was a member of the college's Board of Trustees for many years. This year, the Williamson Medal is awarded to Anastasia Grigorieva. Several of our faculty members praise Anastasia's academic accomplishments at Franklin and Marshall College, especially her detailed research into fundamental questions that arise at the intersection of philosophy and psychology. But they also admire the lasting effects of that curiosity, described by one professor as a deep resolve to seize every possible opportunity, and another as the ability to redirect lines of inquiry in sometimes surprising and always fruitful directions. As evidence of Anastasia's remarkable intellectual curiosity, she is co-presented at 3 academic conferences, including the Cognitive Development Society and the Society for Philosophy and Psychology. She co-authored a paper published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology and served for 2 years as a research assistant in Franklin and Marshall's Developing Morals Lab. Her research has led her to the Danish Institute for Study Abroad in Copenhagen and the Abbas Loron University in Budapest, Hungary. And it culminated with her recent senior honor thesis, Does No Mean No If She Is a Sex Robot?, which focuses on the theme of sexual violence within the sex industry, especially in light of the industry's technological advances and its increasing use of artificial intelligence. Anastasia grew up in Penza, a city of more than 500,000 in southwestern Russia. Before arriving at the college, she spent 2 years in Topeka, Kansas, as an exchange student in the Future Leaders Exchange programs sponsored by the U.S. State Department. She graduates summa cum laude with a major in cognitive science and a minor in psychology. She has been named a Marshall Fellow and has earned the Stanley Craig Memorial Award, the Edward S. Reed Prize, the Paul L. Whiteley Prize, and the Kenneth H. Brookshire Memorial Prize. She is a member of Phi Beta Kappa and the Black Pyramid Society, which she served as president her senior year. She also is a member of Phi Sigma National Honor Fraternity, which she served as vice president her junior year, and the Junto Society. Anastasia is continuing her studies in the Interdisciplinary Neurophilosophy Fellowship Program at Georgia State University in Atlanta, where she earned a highly competitive Brains and Behavior Fellowship from Georgia State's Neuroscience Institute. She is interested in all opportunities to gather knowledge through empirical research and apply it to philosophical inquiries into emerging problems, especially ethical issues raised by technological advances. Eventually, she wants to collaborate with thinkers in other research areas, perhaps in a think tank. Anastasia, we salute you for your outstanding record of scholarship, your relentless intellectual curiosity, your innovative academic research, and your multifaceted service to your fellow students, to Franklin and Marshall, and your surrounding community. All of those characteristics embody the college's ideal of cultivating the whole person through the development of intellect, character, and leadership. I present to you the Williamson Medal as an expression of our tremendous pride and appreciation.
Thank you, Dean Hazlett. Greetings to President Allman and our distinguished guests, and hello, fellow graduates of the class of 2020. In celebrating the accomplishments of our class, especially months after graduation, it seemed appropriate to talk about something like resilience. But I recently realized that I used to have a remarkably flawed understanding of resilience. When I applied to colleges in the United States, it simultaneously manifested my persistent desires to escape and to pursue freedom from ignorance. I didn't have a plan B. I thought I wasn't that impressive of a candidate, and I was asking for a lot of financial assistance. I thought, I just need a chance to get in. I will show them that they made the right decision. Franklin and Marshall gave me that chance. Now I had to show that they made the right decision. I embraced resilience as needing to overcome every obstacle, striving for an attainable perfection. I daily put on a smile and a pair of high heels, and no matter what kind of punch life threw at me, I would crack jokes and bury the pain. But throughout my time at FNM, little by little, I was invited to cultivate a different capability, the ability to be vulnerable. We tend to speak of vulnerability as something negative, almost the opposite of resilience. But simply making it through college required us to constantly feel vulnerable, even if we didn't always recognize it. We felt vulnerable asking professors and peers for help, offering our less than perfect work to others' judgment, hoping to improve it, taking everyday risks by expressing our original thoughts in the classroom, sharing our different ways of seeing and approaching this world, and thus inevitably sharing ourselves, falling in love, all kinds of love, and coming to care about people deeply. That I think is the most vulnerable, but also the most enjoyable way that we can live life. And then the pandemic happened. The weeks leading to graduation brought a deep, pervasive sense of uncertainty. I, for one, faced the fact that my standing in the United States was very fragile. I was determined to spend last summer back with my mother and my grandparents. They raised me and did everything they could to make me feel like I was the luckiest, most cared for child, even with what little they had. But with my foreign status, if I had gone back to Russia, I wouldn't have been able to come back to the US to continue my graduate school education. So I chose to stay here. My grandfather died the weekend before my master's program started. His only regret was that he couldn't see his grandchildren. I've learned that once you feel grief, you suddenly feel all grief in the world. Left to myself, I slipped back into my resilience mode. I attended my classes the following Monday, smiling and joking, and then I started sinking into an inescapable pattern of regret and blaming myself. I didn't say a word to anyone about what I was really thinking and feeling for months. Finally, I simply couldn't live that way anymore. What ultimately got me out of it? The caring relationships I cultivated at FNM. Only letting my weakness be seen and embracing my vulnerability in front of others did I finally feel the weight of deep hopelessness lifted off my shoulders. I know I'm not alone in this experience. The last year has shown us all just how dependent we are on each other. Never before has our collective state of vulnerability been more evident. But this vulnerability is not something to avoid. Its beauty is that it is profoundly human. We all stand in this relationship of being vulnerable with each other. And this gives rise to real human caring. The kind of caring that we have to keep cultivating now more than ever. Looking back, I think that our Franklin Marshall education really was the kind of holistic teaching and learning performed by all members of the FNM community and directed at our entire personhoods. By gradually learning to be delightfully vulnerable, we gifted each other with genuine caring relationships. By holding on to these relationships, allowing ourselves to care unceasingly and without limits, we have a chance at a life that is beautiful and meaningful, even at this time of global uncertainty. Thank you all for giving me this chance.
I offer my heartfelt congratulations to Anastasia Grigoreva, an extraordinary student and a very worthy recipient of the medal. It is now my pleasure to present our candidate, Pedro Rivera, for an honorary degree. Pedro Rivera began as president of the Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology in Lancaster last October. For the previous 5 years, he was Pennsylvania's Secretary of Education, where he consistently demonstrated his commitment to educational equity. That commitment started in his childhood, growing up in Philadelphia with a single mother who worked 3 jobs and wanted him to go to college. He worked a full-time job as a high school student and became the first in his family to attend college, earning an education degree from Penn State University. Pedro worked 13 years in the Philadelphia School District as elementary school principal and then high school assistant principal. His duties included bilingual teacher, coordinator of English as Second Language programs, and executive director of high schools. He served as president of the Philadelphia Association of Hispanic School Administrators. In 2008, Rivera became superintendent of the School District of Lancaster, where he improved graduation rates and reading proficiency scores and developed a new curriculum for pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, programs for improving student success in college, and a community schools model that provides students with free breakfast and lunch, eyeglasses, dental care, and medical services. Pedro's academic achievements were recognized by the Washington Post and by the White House. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. In witness of this degree, I hand you this diploma and cause you to be vested with the insignia. Congratulations.
Congratulations, F&M graduates, class of 2020. We've been planning this opportunity to celebrate your commencement for almost a year. Nearly every morning, I would walk through your campus with my daughter on our way to our favorite coffee shop in preparation for a day of online work and school, and I would think about this day. Dr. Altman and I were in continued conversation, looking for the perfect time and the perfect conditions. The perfect time to celebrate your accomplishments. The perfect time for me to fulfill the honor of addressing all of you as guest speaker at your commencement ceremony. I started to wonder, would there ever be a perfect time? Then again, maybe this is the perfect time to not only celebrate this accomplishment, but to celebrate you, your resilience, your adaptability, your focus, and your resolve. For all of us, this pandemic turned our world upside down. However, it gave us life experiences like no other and lessons that we will not soon forget. On Friday, March 13th, the governor of Pennsylvania announced the closure of all schools throughout the Commonwealth to address the health and safety of our students and communities in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic. That day, I had the distinct responsibility to serve the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania as Secretary of Education and as part of a team that had to lead through a global pandemic. On the surface, our role was fairly cut and dry. Focus on continuity and modalities of instruction. However, in reality, the challenge was much broader. The immediate issues for us to address were the basic needs of our communities: food and housing security. We needed to respond to how students who normally ate at school could access nutritious foods and meals while social distancing at home or through closed campuses, where students facing housing insecurity might live, how families could access much-needed life-sustaining resources and supplies. We learned an important lesson that day. All of the hard work and preparation, all of the systems we created in response to almost every foreseeable condition was challenged. Although wrapped up in the novel occurrence of COVID-19, the circumstances and conditions that our most vulnerable communities faced are not new. They were just exacerbated or even highlighted under the weight of discovery. As graduates who have recently entered the workforce and in the world of your new role, you're going to learn quickly that the skills and condition you spent years developing and sharpening are the foundations you will use to build all future life decisions. And they will be challenged early and often. After all, you not only endured the hardest conditions ever met in academia, you created a new pathway for all future learners. As you work to become a leader at work or in your community, remember, the best way to make it through challenges is by focusing on the talent and the resources around you. A year ago, we didn't know what we were facing, but we asked critical conditions and surrounded ourselves with many individuals who broadened our knowledge and understanding. Never stop listening and learning. Over the course of many months, educators and community partners were able to serve over 12.5 million meals. They found housing for thousands of students across Pennsylvania. They ensured education continued for millions of our students. Their creativity resulted in learning modalities ranging from online platforms to paper packets or even public television stations for hard-to-reach communities. For us, that is the point of pride through this pandemic. Communities stepping up to support members of their community and beyond. It makes you wonder, how did everyday members of our community step up and do the extraordinary things we witnessed in the past year? Because they focused on the why. They didn't allow the audacious figures of 12 million plus meals paralyze them into submission. They focused on feeding a neighbor in need. Why? Because that neighbor was hungry. They didn't worry about the challenges of finding the square footage to house students and families. They focused on putting a roof over their head. Why? Because that neighbor was homeless. They didn't ponder on how much a community in the 21st century could have access to reliable connectivity. They pulled resources and locations together to offer instruction because they know that education is a pathway to prosperity. They knew at times it wasn't perfect, but they continued to move forward. So as you continue on your path to success and prosperity, whether you're continuing your education or entering the workforce, stop early and often and remember your why. Ultimately, it's your North Star to guide you in times of uncertainty. Ultimately, my why drew me to transition from a job I enjoyed and colleagues I greatly appreciated, not because I was unhappy, but because I was presented with the opportunity to continue to follow and advance my why and do my part to address the inequities that were brought to light by the worst pandemic of our lifetimes. And as you look to make life and career decisions, remember why you chose to enter your profession and ask, will you love what you're doing? Can you make a living doing it? And do those around you need it? And if the answer is yes, you found your success and your path to happiness. Again, I congratulate you, the class of 2020, and I thank you for the privilege of sharing this moment with you. Congratulations.
As president of the Franklin and Marshall College Alumni Association, this is the highest honor of my office and the continuation of a great tradition. The passing of the torch from the Alumni Association to the class that is about to join our ranks, signifying the spirit of the college motto, Lux et Lex. Lux et Lex are the Latin words for light and law. They symbolize beliefs that guided the founders of Franklin and Marshall College, the light of knowledge to explore in the search for truth, and the rule of law, which signifies the responsibility of the individual in achieving an orderly society. At nearly every commencement since 1924, the torch has been passed from an alumnus to a representative of the graduating class. Emily, I'm pleased to present the alumni torch to you and members of the class of 2020 in honor of your formal entrance into the Alumni Association of Franklin and Marshall. The mission of the Alumni Association is to advance the welfare of Franklin and Marshall College. I urge you to be active alumni. The college will come to rely on your time, energy, and ideas, 2020 graduates, to help ensure that the same excellent education you received is available to future generations of Franklin and Marshall students. Your fellow alumni, more than 28,000 of us throughout the world, congratulate you on reaching this milestone. We welcome you into our ranks and pass along to you our high expectation for a lifelong love for, engagement with, and commitment to Franklin and Marshall.
Lisa, thank you so much for your warm remarks, passing along the Century Alumni Torch and formally welcoming the class of 2020 into the Alumni Association. To all of the members of the class of 2020, in 2016, when we all sat in the ASFC for convocation, we all imagined that we would be sitting there 4 years later, celebrating our commencement in person. Despite the fact that this is not the commencement ceremony any of us had envisioned, our hard work, accomplishments, and experiences of our time at F&M must be celebrated. Class of 2020, I urge you to take today to celebrate your accomplishment of college graduation and reflect on all the fond memories of your time at F&M that have shaped you into who you are today. I look forward to when we can all celebrate together safely in person and hope you all continue to light up the world with your spark. Now, I would like to turn it over to Provost Wesson.
President Altman, I have the honor to present to you the class of 2020 of Franklin and Marshall College. These candidates have been granted their degrees as they have met the requirements of the college and were recommended by the faculty as qualified to receive the degree Bachelor of Arts. On behalf of the faculty, I now request that you officially confer the degrees as listed in the program.
Provost Wesson, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, and upon recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon these candidates of the class of 2020 of Franklin and Marshall College the degree Bachelor of Arts, set down in a diploma that has been previously awarded, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. You may officially move your tassel.
Congratulations, Dips. Go Diplomats! So excited for you.
Go Dips! Congratulations, you did it. That's awesome. Great job. You're finished.
Woo! Congratulations, class of 2020. Woo!
Yay, Posse.
Woohoo! Congratulations, Dips. Go Dips. Congratulations on your graduation. I wish you all the best. That's all I have. Congratulations, class of 2020. You did it.
We hail the alma mater, our gallant white and blue, with one accord in deed and word, as sons and daughters true. We honor thy traditions and those who've gone before. In weal or woe to thee shall flow our hearts forevermore. We love each hall and building, thy campus stretching long, thy tower and bell with solemn knell that call to work and song. We'll give the world our service, but ever like a gem. Our hearts shall hold a love untold for dear old
So hello everyone. We want to start first actually by introducing ourselves because some of you may not know us. So I am Padmini Mongia, the new Don at WISE who took over from Frony. And
I'm Melissa Geis, the new Dean at WISE.
And we both wanted to congratulate you and wish you every success in the the next endeavors that you take on, and congratulate you on graduating in such a memorable year.
Congratulations and best wishes to all of you.
Yay.
Congratulations, class of 2020, now alumni of New College House, which is now Rochelle College House. I want to tell you how very, very proud I am of you, of each and every one of you, for the tremendous accomplishments that you had while here at F&M, and in particular of the very strong and dignified way that you ended your time here at the onset of this terrible pandemic. Congratulations to you all, and please come back and visit us anytime. Our doors are always open. Rochelle College House will always be open to you.
Class of 2020, it is so amazing. You did it. Graduation is a major accomplishment, but in the midst of all of this going on, it speaks to your tenacity and your readiness for the world. So go do it. You have all the skills. You have everything you need. Congratulations, and we love you. We support you 100%.
I'm so thrilled to extend my warmest congratulations to the class of 2020, especially bond checkers. You are truly a remarkable class, and I know that your future will be marked by great accomplishment. Congratulations, class of 2020, and we look forward to seeing you back on campus very soon.
Hello everyone, it's Dean Profit from Boncheck College House. I'm sending out a warm congratulations to the entire class of 2020, but most especially to those bond checkers out there. We're particularly missing you right now, wishing we could be sending you off in person. So while all commencement ceremonies have a bittersweet quality, this time it's particularly intense for us. It seems just a few minutes ago that we were all gathered together in the College Center on a hot, muggy afternoon, welcoming you to F&M and to Boncheck. Look how cute you all are here. And yet, it also seems like long, long ago. So much has happened, so many things have changed. So whether you seem to sail through your experience at F&M or whether you clearly struggled, you've all made it to the finish line. And I strongly believe that the challenges you faced, the hard work you've put in, and the particularly heavy lifts of the past few years have made you stronger and better equipped to face that big old world out there. So do us proud. I know you will. You already have. Now it's time to raise a glass or a mug to celebrate you, your accomplishments, and your bright future. Cheers.
Hello, everyone. Dean Decay, of course, needs no introduction, but I'm Professor Kent, the new House Faculty Don, and perhaps some of you I met at one of our bagel breakfasts or some other house event. It's my pleasure to congratulate the class of 2020 Warians and to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I know you'll prevail over whatever challenges you face. And I hope now as alumni, you'll come back to tell us of your successes.
Class of 2020 Warians, everybody in the graduating class of 2020, we love you. We wish you all the best, and cheers to you.
Yes, cheers.
Hooray.
Cheers.
Greetings, class of 2020. This is Dean Samble. They say we grow the most when we're challenged. And boy, this year is no exception. I know each of you is going to have a very bright future, and I hope you stay in touch so you can share with all future Brooksians where you are in the next year. I'd now like to turn this over to the new Don of Brooks College House, Professor Lisa Gasparoni.
Hi, class of 2020. I know some of you, but not all of you. I'm so happy to have joined the Brooks House community. I want to say congratulations. We know you're headed for great things. So Brooks House wishes you all the best, and we hope you will keep in touch.
Class of 2020, you have made it through a tough 4 years. Political protests, presidential elections, hurricanes, a pandemic. You can do anything.
Congratulations, class of 2020 DIP senior athletes. You've been through so much over the last year. If you can handle this, you can handle just about anything. Congratulations again, and go DIPS.
Class of 2020, congratulations from Ospagod to you.
Ospagod is here to partner with you for all your career development needs. Congratulations, class of 2020.
I want to send a special shout out to all 2020 grads.
especially the chemistry majors and the B&B majors from the class of 2020. Congrats. You're all amazing. You're doing great things, and we miss you.
Congratulations, psychology majors, BFB majors, and especially my hormones and behavior class from the spring. You did it!
To all of our E&E graduates, environmental studies, environmental science, geoscience, you're on your way to great things. We're so proud of you. Congratulations and enjoy this day.
I want you to all go out and have a positive environmental and social impact on the world.
Congratulations, seniors. I wish you all the best in whatever you do.
You have certainly been through a whirlwind, but I know you're only going to be stronger for it and go out and do great things. Congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Go Dips. I know you're going to make a difference.
You did it. You graduated from Franklin and Marshall College. You now have the diploma, and we're looking forward to seeing all the amazing things you will do out in our world. Continue to make an impact, be who you are, and be the leaders that we know you are.
Bravo, and take care of your art, take care of your creativity. It will last you your whole life.